This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to BigHeadsMedia.com. Hi there, folks, and welcome to Podcast The Origin. It's a mini-series here on the pod where we watch the Gundam The Origin OVA series. We're here for another round of mecha action. Two robots just punching and fighting.
Yes!
And this time, that's actually true.
Finally.
I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and helpless lady who's, I guess, been sex trafficked. Stairmaster.
I just help people cheat at gambling. But in the novel, she was rescued from a brothel, so you're right.
Yeah, I guess maybe I was reading into it. I don't know. And with us, as always, is our other co-host and kid stuck at his computer looking over robots. Kyorain.
Listen. I don't have time to pick up after myself. This high school girl needs to leave me alone.
You're not wearing anything at all underneath your shirt.
Kyorain, you're not wearing pants.
Yeah, you were completely exposed and flapping around down there.
Was that what happened?
Yes.
Yeah, listen, that probably happened at some point in the...
Yes.
Why didn't we get to see this? I don't understand.
Probably because he's a kid. He's like underage.
Why did they make him 18 and let us see it?
I mean, they could have like a soda can conveniently placed on the kitchen table when he walks out, and so you just see... You don't see it, but you see Fra and his reaction. Sort of like that scene from Evangelion, but with the gender swapped.
And Haro goes like, so big.
I think Haro knows all about it.
I really don't.
You think Amuro's dropping trow in front of Haro?
Like, you think he's, like, shy around Haro?
I think Haro's like a cat and will follow you into the bathroom.
That's probably true.
Haro lonely! Haro lonely!
Yeah,
Where
and
is
Haro's
Amuro?
knocking at the door.
Thump, thump, thump.
You gotta open it. Then Haro wants to leave the moment you close it again.
Yes. Haro
yeah.
gets claustrophobic easily.
Very true. Yeah, there is some Haro in this, not a whole lot, but everyone was waiting for it, I imagine.
What a good robot. What a friendly little creature.
Good pal. We're here, episode 4. We're past the halfway point, nearing the close. This is titled Eve of Destiny.
And actually, this might be the last one, technically. In the sense
There's
that when
6.
Gundam The Origin was announced, they only announced 4. And they didn't announce 5 or 6 until after this.
So they were like, this is a good ending. And then they decided, actually, no.
Actually, we could make some more money.
Yeah. That makes sense because there's like a year gap between this and the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, that tracks,
And it seems
I
like
guess.
we've kind of set up everything we needed
Yeah,
to
pretty
set
much.
Up.
Curious to see what they could have continued.
But we'll
Best
get
wishes.
into that right now.
But you know what would be crazy, guys? Is if Amuro was actually going to be the guy to pilot that Gundam his dad was building.
That'd be pretty crazy.
That would
But he
never
just-
happen.
But he's just a boy!
He's just a good old lad
guess-
who's not taking care of himself.
Yeah, I guess it's not really very realistic. He seems kind of like a loser.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
would die immediately. I mean, how
Definitely.
strong could that Gundam be anyways?
Yeah, you'd have to be like an ace pilot to pilot something like that. You know, like Char.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, Char's gonna get the Gundam. Now I get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's a hero after all, right?
Of course, we've been following him for so long.
He's like a moderately rude hero.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Tony
like he's an
Soprano.
Ichigo or a Yusuke.
Also very
Yeah.
similar to Tony Soprano.
Yeah, like if he's basically Ichigo, if Ichigo once in a while like backstabbed his friends just a little bit.
Yeah. Like Ichigo sets Chad up to get blown up. And he's just like, sorry, Chad.
Chad finds out about his powers, and he's just like, Ichigo, I'm still your best friend. I'm gonna fight on your side till the end. Ichigo's like, oh yeah, sure thing, Chad. The next episode, Chad is dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Char, Ichigo does wear a mask.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Much to think about.
very true. And also, Ichigo's thoughts on his parents aren't exactly the truth.
That is also true. I did have a theory that Kubo Tite was just deeply inspired by Gundam.
And not
Aizen
like-
also does look like almost exactly like Treize Kusanada from Gundam Wing. And Renji looks like Zex when he has his hair down.
Interesting.
And when you think about it, who is Kenpachi but just a stronger version of Dozel?
Yeah, Dozel without the id. It's
Yeah.
a Ego.
Dozel without the id and also not as creepily infatuated with a teenager.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that
Uh-oh.
right now.
That's right. So yeah, let's get into this here. So we're 4 movies in, and this recap is like 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me
I
hope
need
for the 6th episode where it's going to be like 15 plus minutes.
Look, I needed that recap. I was very confused.
Maybe I'll just be
Eric.
Char explaining what happened to another character in a very quick conversation.
That would be fine, I guess. I mean, I don't blame the movie for this intro being long. They did have to fill people in on something that happened like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Because the internet didn't exist when this came out in
Yeah.
2016, so
This was released a whopping 6 months after 3.
yeah, so they've already forgotten what had happened.
Imagine
so,
the
yeah.
movie starting up, and we hear like the Dragon Ball previously on music, and then Char is cheerfully explaining what happened.
Last time, I started a rebellion. Char. So yeah, lots of death is shown to us as we lots of deaths are being mourned, I guess. They are having
Lots
this
of deaths.
parade.
Yes. There will be even more deaths this episode.
Very true. Yeah. There's having this parade for the people, the brave people who had held this rebellion, and then they have like a cavalcade of cars just holding photographs of all of the people that Char essentially led to slaughter,
Yeah.
including, of course, Jay Leno.
Yeah. Leno Moran.
And Char's just like, he's just like, heh.
Yeah, he's having a great old time.
Yeah.
Cut to the Zabi family, and they're having a bad old time. They're all suffering some verbal abuse from their dad. Worst
Yeah,
of all
everyone's
is
getting it.
Dozel.
Well, I don't think Kycelia is getting any of it.
No, she seems to be getting off the hook because she did literally nothing. But Giran and Dozel in particular are getting it hard.
My work here is done. But you didn't do anything at all. Didn't I?
He essentially strips Dozel of his position, which we find out about in a second. But
Yeah. Poor Dozel.
So yeah, man, he gets held up at gunpoint, and then
by a
rushes
woman.
by a woman, and then rushes to go save his brother, only to find out that his brother and his brother's friend, mainly his brother's friend, did most of the work.
Yeah, now they're like national heroes.
Yeah. So I love this bit here where Degwin is extremely angry, and then and Garma comes in, and Degwin
Everyone's
is like,
quiet.
"Oh, Garma, hello."
Yeah, I think Garma asks Giran something here, and Giran's like, I don't want any part of this. I'm just going to keep quiet.
I think he's like, my dad's angry. Is it because of me? And Giran's just like,
Hey!
don't ask me, man.
I need to go back to my race theories.
Yeah. I need to go back to rewriting our constitution.
It's weird. I don't because he does have a literal race theory, but that never comes up in these films.
Like he thinks space noids are like more superior.
Yes, one of his things is the theory of space noid survival.
That's kind of not chill.
Yeah, it's kind of not C.
Yeah.
So yeah, cut to Dozel. He is in his office. He has a convo with Char where he's like,
"Oh yeah, you're a loose cannon."
Yes,
turning
pretty
your
much.
gun and badge.
I love that Char is just like, all right, sure, yeah, cool,
understandable.
Hey, one thing, if you ever need me to come back, I get to pilot a mobile suit. He's like, sure, whatever, asshole. Why did Dozel agree to this?
I don't know, but that was like the best decision he's ever made.
Yeah, well, yeah, very true. If he had put some random dude in that suit, it would have not worked out later in this movie.
Yeah.
He was kind of reminding him, I guess, that he was like best buds with Garma, and Garma's like the goat to them.
They're good friends. Yeah, meanwhile, Degwin and Garma are having like a little heart-to-heart.
Oh yeah, there's this line here, this absolutely cold line that Karma, of course, doesn't pick up on, where Degwin is like, your body is important to the nation.
Oh, he also says that Garma's the only one who isn't bloodthirsty.
Yes.
Out of all of his children.
So Degwin is aware that his children are essentially rabid dogs.
Yes.
And is just like, good.
No, I don't think he's
Garma,
good at all. He
different.
seems very remorseful about it.
Well, yeah, he has a line near the end of this scene here where he's like, having children when you're old is like a poor decision.
Yeah.
No, this scene is like oddly touching.
But it's kind of, yeah. He does make Garma rest his head on his hand.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird for considering Garma's age.
Yeah, but Garma, it's clear through like the little bits we've seen here that Degwin is like babied Garma his entire life, pretty much.
Yeah. Mm.
He has a line where he's like, I shouldn't have sent you to the academy, I should have made you a scholar.
Like Gohan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the two of them are pretty much Rhodes scholars compared to everyone else in their orbit.
Yeah. I'm not sure Dozel can read.
I would be surprised if he could.
It's probably a struggle.
Similar to, I'm not sure if Vegeta can read.
Oh, he can read. How else would he know what people's power levels are?
I guess that's true.
It's just a number. That's not reading.
Who do we think is the character in DBZ who can't read?
Yamcha.
No, Yamcha
He's a
can
bandit
read.
from the desert.
Yamcha can read. Yamcha's the easy answer. My guess was Krillin.
Goku and Krillin were both canonically taught how to do basic academics by Master Roshi.
Yeah, by making them read erotic thrillers.
Well, if I said Piccolo, I feel like vaguely racist.
No.
Piccolo's very wise.
He's magic. He has to know how to read.
Yeah, if he didn't know how to read, how would he know how to meditate properly?
Yeah, I you know what? It's Boo, right? Boo doesn't know how to read.
I don't think that counts. Boo's like mentally a 4-year-old.
Okay, but imagine Boo doesn't know how to read either.
Yeah.
Like, the little M does not denote reading capability.
Yeah. Look, Cell doesn't know how to read, clearly.
No, it was unnecessary for my perfection.
He's perfect in everything but that one respect.
If he wanted to learn how to read, he could, but why would he?
Yes.
Well, what's the point? Who would write anything he'd want to read?
He certainly doesn't know how to read a room.
I bet Birder doesn't know how to read.
Yeah.
Birder out of... Why him out of everyone?
Well, it'd be too obvious to be Raccoon. And plus, in some version, he's like a pro wrestler instead of a dumb guy.
What about Captain Ginyu? You think he can read?
Oh, yeah.
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 I think he could read, but he swapped bodies with someone who couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how reading works?
Apparently. According to a backstory from, Beat Jump magazine, Captain Ginyu, when he was a kid, swapped bodies with the popular kid in his class, but found out that it was kind of meaningless since he had very bad grades. And his academics suffered as a result.
Something to think about here is the thought of high school Captain Ginyu.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that like?
Well, apparently really sociopathic.
Yeah. So yes, Dozle gets demoted.
Yeah, and then we cut to Dozle and Zena. Not cool scene.
Yeah, probably the worst part of all of the movies we watched.
I guess nobody read the script before they put it in before they started drawing the storyboards.
It's so yeah, Dozle calls Zena in. He's fixing his hair, which doesn't work. And then he's like, "Listen, can I get the room, please?" He has them leave.
He's like, remember that time we spent 5 minutes together
with you holding me at gunpoint? Well, how about you have my children? Like his pitch needs a little work, I think.
And her reaction wasn't even like yes; it was just like, "Oh boy."
Yeah.
Well, it's not like she has a choice.
I know.
Yeah, it's not great. I want
to say, in Mobile Suit Gundam, it seems like they're a very loving couple, as opposed to this.
Oh.
Yeah.
This whatever happens to her, she get killed too?
She dies of mom illness.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Previously established, yes. It happens when a woman doesn't have her man.
It's true. Scientific fact. All you need to do is watch the Gundam series.
Is it about losing your man or your children?
Losing your man.
Mom?
Well,
Wow.
Losing your man starts it, and what can exasperate is losing your children.
Yeah. Unless you're Amuro's
Brutal.
mom, then you're fine.
Yeah, well, she's just like divorced from his dad.
They're like legally separated, I think.
Rightfully so, because this dude's a huge asshole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bad news about her though.
Oh, uh-oh.
At least they're not Camille's parents.
So yes, Dozle's pitch apparently works, and then we cut to Earth. Where in Earth is this? Somewhere in the Middle East?
This is in Brazil.
Oh, Brazil. Okay.
Yeah, Char's working at the Jaburo construction site. In the original series, Jaburo is like the Federation's main base, which is an underground industrial complex the size of Metropolitan Tokyo.
Dang.
That does not get explained here at all. It's just a nice wink and nudge cameo, I guess.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't think that's a real place. And it wasn't.
We made it up.
Not true. We made it up. So we meet a young, what's her name? Lala Soon?
Yes.
Sune?
Got it in one.
Oh. Yeah, we meet a young Lala Soon as she's being kidnapped. So we cut from this horrible scene to I don't know about Kyo here, but I read it as this lady is being kidnapped.
Well, she's like financially coerced.
Yeah, she's being dragged from location to location to use her new type of skills to help them cheat at gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly, she's sending money back to her family. I have no idea if they're getting it or not.
Yeah. It's weird because the Wikipedia says that she is rescued by Char from men who are trying to traffic her.
Well, that's in the novel.
I know, but this is the episode description.
Oh, I guess they just...
Well, they are trafficking her. They're just not doing it for
sexually
sex purposes. Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully. So yeah, they
but this guy dragging around looks like
her. Yeah.
This guy dragging around looks like he could hang out with Epstein.
Well, yeah, probably. He's probably hanging out with whatever Gundam version of Epstein there is. So yeah, Char is working with some mobile workers. He's living his best life.
The bulldozer, Zaku.
He legitimately seems to be having the time of his life.
That's what men love, is drive construction equipment around.
I mean, he seems happy the entire time.
He's happy because he knows this is a warm-up for actually piloting a weapon.
Actually murdering people, yeah.
He's probably thinking about ways to kill people with it.
The entire time. That's probably why he's so happy, yeah. And I could kill him with this. Oh, I could kill him with that. Oh, imagine if I hit him with that.
Yeah.
I can bury
So,
him too, just like that.
There are these two comedy characters that work with him. One of them is just called Foreman because he's the foreman, and I don't think I ever got the other guy's name.
I don't think he has a name.
Pretty much, they are there to
Chet.
react to all of the ridiculous shit that Char says and does.
They're like Gohan's high school classmates.
Pretty much. Char, there's a bit here where they're talking about the what do they call them? The Xenos?
The Zeonic.
The Zeonics, yeah.
Yeah,
they're talking about how the Zeonics are no good, and Char's like,
yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, Char essentially stays lying and says, yeah, I was working with them in development and I got kicked out. Assholes. And they're like, oh, that Char, he's a cool dude.
Oh, he's one of us.
So they go for a night out on the town where they go gambling. Foreman is losing all of his money, but decides to play one more round, and that's when these people come in to try and win big off of Lala's new type abilities. Char notices this, although I guess he doesn't know he's a new type, right? He just knows that he just has a connection because he is one.
He just notices they're cheating.
Yeah.
It's like he cheats in a very obvious way. Where so he calls the exact number, which I think you seldom do when you're doing roulette.
Unless you're Tony Soprano on peyote.
So he calls the exact number. On the first roll, he wins.
Yeah.
And then Char's like, interesting, something to think about. He
somehow this does not end with this guy getting his fingers broken.
I thought that was why they switched the people running the game.
Yeah, like the dude there. I don't know what you call him. What do you call the guy who's at the gambling house and he's like
the pit boss,
the dealer?
The pit boss is the dealer. Yeah, it's the dealer.
The dealer. Yeah, so that dealer got murdered off screen. I'm pretty sure
they should have murdered him.
Well, I mean, he was the employee there. If they were cheating, they would
bring him in for questioning, but they would also
the look on that dealer's face was, I'm losing some fingers tonight.
But yeah. So after he cheats, they're like, okay, switch the dealers, and then when they switch the dealers, apparently her new type abilities don't work on this new dealer, and they can't cheat anymore.
They don't really explain why they don't work. They just said she's bad at the game, like she's bad at dealing.
I think the implication was the first dealer was deliberately aiming at certain numbers, and this lady wasn't, or was just very bad at it.
Huh? I don't know.
That would make the most sense in that context.
Yeah. Either way, Char notices all of this.
Yeah.
It's literally magic, so it could just be that she didn't make the connection with her.
And if you want to learn more about casinos, I recommend the 1995 film Casino, starring Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci and Philly Leotardo.
Is that a documentary?
Yes, based off a true story.
Ever since I've been a kid, I've wanted to be in a casino.
I wanted to be a casino.
So yeah, Char makes note of this, and then later on in the day finds her at the docks and is like, hey, what's going on? And she's not having any of it. He's hanging out with her.
Talk about...
Yeah.
Can we talk about the way he's acting during this sequence, though?
Sure, go ahead.
Like,
very charming.
He's, like, charming in an intensely, like, threatening kind of...
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
very much
she's like,
so.
She's like, listen, this is dangerous. You should probably not be here. He's like, oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, he is acting like he is being charming in the way that like Hannibal Lecter is charming to his victims.
It's like Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler, but more competent.
Yes,
socially.
He walks over. He's like, wow, looks like that guy smacked you around a bit, didn't he?
I'm definitely not going to chop off his limbs. Yeah. And leave him in a dumpster.
That's someone else's job, evidently. So Lala. That's where Lala shows him the picture of her family.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can make a better picture of this if you want." As they're conversing, her suitor or her whoever her handler,
her slaver,
comes out and is gonna start shit with Char, but before Char gives him the crazy eyes too.
Yes.
He goes to start shit with Char, and he goes to slap her, and Char grabs his hand and is like,
He's like, hey, nice boat.
Yeah, he's like, nice boat you got there. Where'd you get that?
How about we take a trip?
Yeah. And as they're conversing, this other boat shows up and just blows the fuck out of it.
Yeah, presumably military.
Yeah.
What's kind of
just what a shame.
Yeah. It's got a literal howitzer on the front, and it's armored.
Was this military, or was this the guys who show up later?
I think it's military just hired by the guys who showed up later. Which
okay.
just shows how corrupt the Federation is.
Char is defending women here.
Yes.
He's defender of women, and then he
takes
scoops Lala up, and they go into the car. The guy is trying to chase after the car, and I guess gets in eventually. They go back to
defender women with no ulterior motive. He's just a good guy.
No, he's just an ally, Kyoran.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cut to them hanging out at the job
break room,
the job site. They're all watching the TV, hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah.
This guy is complaining loudly, and they're all like, "Yeah, fuck that dude."
Yeah, and then Char walks in on the foreman sucking out the security guard.
Yeah,
and that starts a whole thing.
There's a bit here where, sure enough, some people show up and they're demanding.
Well, yeah, the guy's right-hand man. I wish we knew what his name was. It's I
don't know anybody's name in this. Ortega?
No, it's something Indian.
Uh-oh.
Let's just call him the Iron Sheik.
We learned that Lala is from India.
Yeah, so then, the crime guy's right-hand man shows up, who we did not mention has a bladed boomerang, like a boomerang disc that chops people's limbs off.
Yeah, very cool.
What would you call that? What's it actually called?
I don't know. I didn't know it was an actual thing.
It's like a real-life Destructo disc.
No, I mean, it's based on a real weapon, like a chakram or something.
Yeah, it's like a spinning chakra.
So the Iron Sheik shows up, or the Iron Sheik goes to meet with his associate, Colonel Mustafa.
Yeah, and Mustafa's like, I received a new offer. And immediately decapitates him with his chakram.
Dude, it is a hardcore death right here.
His head spins around.
His head spins around, falls off, and then there's a fountain of blood.
I was not expecting that in a Gundam, and I've already seen this film before.
Yeah, that was just an actual real murder we witnessed there.
Yeah, I thought what we were gonna get was just the clutch his throat and then blood pours out and he falls down. No, his head flies off, and also it's in the background of shots. His head and his headless body.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Char's reaction. He's just like, "Whoa."
He's like, "Huh, that's one way to kill people I didn't think about."
So yeah,
what if I could give the mobile suit one of those?
So Mustafa is going to grab Lala, and Char decides to do his best Jonathan Joestar impression and take him on.
Yeah, another brave defender of women, Jonathan Joestar.
Yes.
Char goes to take this guy on, and there's a bit here where he misses, he dodges the first attack from the blade, not realizing that it's going to come back around and would probably murder him. Which would, actually would have probably saved a lot of people's lives.
Well, not in this film, but later on, yeah.
Yeah.
He makes some kind of mystical eye contact with Lala. And
we get that sound effect.
Wait a second. Yeah. He's like, wait a second. It's behind me. And he dodges it. And it's like, ooh, interesting.
That cuts his shirt open.
About.
Yeah, it cuts his shirt open so we can get some good chest action. He has this the staff that he's using.
Oh, Mustafa's like, you won't dodge this one. So Char's got a shovel.
That's right. Yeah, it's a shovel.
Char was gonna beat him to death with a shovel. But then Mustafa throws the disc, and that cuts the shovel in half. But Char dodges again and stabs him with the shovel.
Yeah.
The shovel
And
staff.
he deflects. He basically deflects it by sacrificing the shovel.
Yes.
And then uses the sharp end to stab him. And then when it comes
Yeah,
back
this
around,
is also very brutal.
when it comes back around, he dodges and it just hits the man square in the head.
Yeah. Shwook.
Just in case he wasn't dying enough.
Yeah.
Um,
I gotta know what happened to the foreman. How do you move on after seeing that?
that's a great question, because I am assuming immediately after this incident is when Dozel or whoever is running the military at that point is like, yeah, why don't you come back?
Yeah.
So yeah, these other people show up and they're demanding Lala, and Char is like, come with me and be very quiet. And they essentially sneak attack.
Very quiet.
Well, until he does the sneak attack, he needs to be quiet. He sent this guy has his military with him, and they're gonna
yes.
just
Remember,
ransack this place.
This is supposed to be the government's main base, and it's surrounded by armed gunmen.
Yeah. And so Char uses this mobile worker to just completely ransack them.
Killdozer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He just runs over people. He's just
Dozens.
like lifting. Yeah. And the entire time inside, he's just like, oh, Lala, do you ever want to leave? Or do you ever have any intention of moving farther from your home? Perhaps the stars?
I just want to get out of this city.
And like the entire time they're having like a nice little heart to heart as he's just murdering, like people are just dying.
No!
Yeah, like they're having this little heart to heart, and what it should be is on the outside you just hear like,
Oh God, no! And you hear, cars exploding as they're crushed.
yeah, like it would be the perfect time to add in that like SpongeBob, my leg sound effect.
A Wilhelm scream.
Yeah,
You just see blood splattering on the cockpit window.
The best part is he opens up a comms with the foreman and is like, hey, I'm gonna take this on loan for a little bit. I'll bill you for it. And he's like, okay, sure, whatever, man.
I think it's like, no, you can keep it.
Yeah, he's like, you do you.
That is like a life-altering experience. Like, your view of humanity is just permanently changed when you meet someone like Char.
Yeah. Well, also, Char becomes like a very public figure later. So that foreman has to be watching TV and being like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, imagine like casually knowing Char.
Yeah, I was being like, I worked with that guy. I was actually that guy's boss, technically.
Not technically, literally.
Well, but it's always technical with Char because Char was not taking orders from that guy.
Yeah, so we cut forward a bit, I think. There's an ellipsis.
We technically
here.
cut back, don't we? Because this is when Tem Ray gets the job to be.
Is this a big meeting scene?
Yeah, he has this. Yeah, he has this big
with
meeting
the Joint
where
Chief of Staffs.
They show the Minovsky footage from the last movie.
Yeah, this is an origin only mech, the MSO4 Bugu.
That's his name.
Yeah, Rambo Rail
Okay.
pilots it later on, but also paints it blue for some reason.
I guess those are his colors. So yeah, we get to see some of this. The commander, I don't know who this guy is. Do you have a name for him?
Which one is it? The one who agrees with Tim Ray, or the one who's like, "Ha, that couldn't take out a battleship."
The guy who later is like, Tem Ray, your project sucks, and my project is much better.
I don't. That guy's not important.
Okay.
The guy,
well, he's
the
one-
admiral's like the one who's like, "Good job, Tim."
Yeah.
That's Gope. He later becomes prime minister. He's like the Leonid Brezhnev of the Gundam universe.
Uh-oh. So yeah, Tem Ray is hired here essentially to go to Side 7 to help their project with what is going to become the Gundam.
I think he's already hired. This is just like a review, a status update.
Well, yeah, they're informing him that Minovsky is switching sides, is
Yes.
moving to another job, essentially. He has defected. He's defected to WCW essentially,
Yes.
and now Tem has to pick up the slack essentially.
He's trying to get over the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's this bit here where Tem goes back home and Fran Bow comes out. Frau Bow, sorry. Frau Bow comes out and is like, "Oh, hi! I go to school with your son. He's a good kid. You should probably pay attention to him sometime."
And he's literally just like scornful about this. He's just like,
he's like, "How dare you tell me how to neglect my child?"
It's like when Char glares at that guy in the last film.
Yeah, only less
Except we're not
intimidating.
rooting for him.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty amazing to be a worse dad than Degwin.
Yeah.
And yet Tem Ray manages it in spades. From the moment he enters the house, all he does is just yell at Amuro the entire time.
Well, it's pretty easy when you are at least successful with one kid. Tem is a failure with all of them. All one of them.
It's true. 100%. Yeah, he has a 0% success rate.
And to be fair, Tim is yelling at him for not wearing pants when he has a lady guest over.
Which, yeah, I guess fair, but do you really need to keep yelling at the kid when he's making you coffee? He has the kid to make him coffee. What an ass.
Well, he
He's
asks
like,
him to make
he's like-
coffee, and then he notices he's not wearing pants.
he's like, "Come down here and wait on me. You're a piece of trash. Clean up this place. Why are you not wearing pants? Pick that up. Put that down. Walk over there."
Also, if I was that dad, a girl just walks out of my house, like a teenage girl, and I see my teenage son is not wearing pants, I'm just going to assume that he just laid pipe or something.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, "Hey, son, good job."
I hope you wrap that up.
Yeah, "Hey, son, good job."
You're practicing safe sex, my son.
Practice safe sex, right? Make me coffee while you regale me with this story.
Maybe not. Maybe not that part.
Seems like a nice girl, but maybe she should talk a little bit less.
Cut back. The legend is back, baby. Rambaral is here in a Gundam. Well, not a Gundam, in a mobile suit.
He's in the Bugu.
Yeah. He is leading his men. They are planning
They're
this.
walking on the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
They've apparently got to be at one of the big craters in like 12 hours.
Well, one of the guys, I don't remember his name.
I think it's Ortega. I think Ortega's like the leader of those three. Or maybe
Yeah, I
it's
think
Gaia.
Ortega's the one who keeps being like all bitched off about Char, right?
The three guys are Gaia, Ortega, and MASH. They're the black Tri-Stars.
Okay. I think maybe it's Gaia who's like talking shit about Char the entire time, who's like bummed out that Char gets to pilot the Zabu.
They're like Ned Flanders kids.
Exactly.
They're interchangeable.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
So yeah, either Ortega or Gaia is like, yeah, that fucking guy piloting the red suit, man, he's not even.
He's a
I
fucking
heard he
asshole.
wasn't even trained.
Yeah, what a Mary Sue.
Yeah, we didn't see him train. Well, I mean, actually, we
True.
did technically see him do some training.
Yes. He knows how to
and
make the thing go up and down from the bulldozer experience.
at the very least, and boy, does he make this thing go up and down.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure Char got all of his talent from being extremely vindictive.
Well, that's usually how a lot of people do it. So, Rampa is like, hey, calm down, everybody. This dude's real experienced. I've seen him in action. I guess Rampa seems to imply that he has.
I don't think Rampa has any idea who Char is. Just being professional.
Yeah,
Which is very ironic.
So cut back to Tem Ray,
Yes.
is getting dressed down. A few years have passed, and his project has been like stalled.
I think this is like concurrent with the stuff on the moon.
Is it?
Meeting up
Because
with
this
his
is
boss.
this is a couple years later when Minovsky is defecting, isn't it?
I think that first meeting where it's announced he's defecting isn't like years before this scene. I think it's like weeks or days before
Oh,
this
okay.
scene.
So wait, he's going to defect to.
The Federation to
Oh, so
Anaheim
he was
Electronics.
already. So he's been working with Zion from the beginning.
Xeon.
Xeon. He's been working. Yes. No, he's been working with Zion.
Shut the fuck up. They actually do call it Zion in early translations.
Uh-oh. So he's been working with Zeon from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay. So
He was the
he's
guy in
making
the
this...
last one.
He's making this defection to the... I know he was there. I thought he was like someone who they picked up from the Federation.
No.
So yeah, he's making this... He's defecting to the Federation, and he's like, yeah, Tem, why don't you tell your great mentor all about it when he comes and takes your job, essentially.
And then they're like, oh yeah, your project sucks ass. We've already got these gun cannons out on the assembly line.
And like Tem goes and takes a look at him, and he's like, "This is fucking amateur hour."
Like the film gives us a shot of their hands, and we see that there's like 3 fingers on a circle.
Yeah, they look like original Simpsons.
Yeah, and it's very chubby compared to Izaku.
Yeah, one of them even talks like original Homer.
Let's go get Frosty Shakes.
Yeah, it's such a weird line. Let's go get some gun cannons.
Haven't we all said that once in a while?
Yeah, I mean, when I really want a good old Frosty Shake. Or are you talking about gun cannons?
Gun cannons?
Yeah, you ever want a gun cannon, Kyorain?
Well, yeah, everyone has, and everyone's fired one at someone. Well, maybe not someone, but at least at a vehicle at the very least, right?
Yeah, of course. Who among us?
Is this where
Among Us?
Who among us?
Is this where we get the kind of unnecessary subplot line with quote unquote Catherine?
Oh yes, with I wasn't sure what this was all about because for one, I didn't pick up that it was Cecilia until halfway through this dumb story.
Yeah. Swanson isn't as acute to telling out voice actors as me or Kyo.
As you.
That's me.
Yeah, what was the point of this? Why is she in
I don't know
disguise?
why she's wearing a wig. I mean, that last scene is some important information, but there's a lot of build-up to it that's...
Like, does she have to protect her identity against these people for some reason?
I guess. I don't know.
Do they not want to... Yeah,
I don't know.
She reveals at the end, so basically we'll get through all of this bit here. It's concurrent with the battle that's going on, essentially, where Caecilia is in disguise.
Landed on Granada.
Yes.
The lunar city that's facing Side 3 on the dark side of the moon.
And she's here to have a meeting with the mayor of Granada.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
yes.
She's essentially being like, you should join the side of Zeon, and when he refuses, she kills him. Later, not in the scene, but...
But also she's like talking to intelligence guys on the ground, coordinating to intercept Dr. Minovsky. Yeah. But she's also got this guy with her.
Yeah, this hapless guy who's just like hanging out with her the entire time. So she reveals at the end here before they kill this guy that she
the mayor.
The mayor who is we see in a news article dead by accident.
Well, we see the accident as well.
Yeah,
it's like the end of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, glad I never watched that show then.
Oh, well, yeah.
So yeah, she says that they're all part of the Caecilia secret agency.
Yes.
Poor naming, by the way. It's not much of a secret if you put your own name there.
Central Intelligence Agency. Everyone knows where that is.
Wait, guys. Does that mean that the secret Kyo Federation is already connected to me somehow?
Yeah, I think it'd be really easy to connect that back to you.
What to think about?
Maybe that's why she has to wear the wig, so no one's like, "Oh, that's Caecilia," and probably her secret troops are around somewhere.
Yeah.
Now it's all adding up.
Yeah, it's just a weird plot point that it was like cool seeing like the machinations here, but I just don't know why she was wearing a wig, why she was hiding out.
I guess she didn't want the Federation to know she's there. Anyway, so we cut to Dr. Minovsky. He's in the car, and his 2 guys pull out guns and shoot the driver.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
This is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they are. Also, I really like the design of this thing where it's like floating at one point and then the wheels just pop out.
Yeah. I assume there's like a magnetic current inside the city on all the roads, but not on the lunar surface.
So they're driving by. They're going to, was it Von Braun?
Yeah, Von Braun's a city on the opposite side, the bright side of the moon.
Yeah, they're heading there with Minovsky, and then these the mobile walkers show up. Before we get their appearance, the mobile suits. Before we get their appearance, we do see Char just out of his cockpit, just like watching the moon,
enjoying the cosmos
as they show up. And one of the either Ortega or Guy, I can't remember which, is like, "Hey man, why didn't you put your beacon out?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't want the enemy to find me."
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Yeah, whatever." And he's like, "Don't hold us back."
Yeah.
So the attack starts here with, I think Ramba is the one leading this.
Yeah, they sprint. Yeah, they jump in front of the car and it goes off-road.
Well, yeah, the people driving the car are like, "Holy shit!"
And they sprint after them in their mobile suits.
Yeah, I have to assume Minovsky and the people who were taking him there were like hoping that no one noticed he was leaving, right?
Yes. I don't think this was planned for.
Yeah,
but they do call for backup.
Yeah, so they launch these inferior products.
They launch this is the Iron Cavalry Squadron.
So yeah, they launch these guys.
Fighters, a bunch of space fighters come in first, and
Char just takes them out. He doesn't even move. He shoots at them, and they blow up where they were. And all he has to do is move his arm.
Yeah.
So
then
they launch
Cavalry
these.
Squadron shows up.
Yeah, they launch these. They launch these fighters here. This pretty fun robot fight. Finally, we're at the pseudo Gundam factory.
Yeah, but this is a complete stomp. Like the gun cannons fire their howitzers, and then the Zaku's just jump out of the explosion and shoot them.
Yeah, they're getting massacred here. There's a bit here where Temray is in one of the shuttles as they're trying to escape.
Yes,
and
he's like, "No."
Yeah, this is brutal. He sees Minovsky get out of the shuttle before it's destroyed, and as Minovsky is trying to get to them,
a gun cannon falls on him.
Yeah, like he's literally crushed by the inferior version of his products. Like the copy of his work kills him. It's pretty brutal.
Also, and also in the regular continuity, the gun cannons aren't that inferior. They're just not designed for close combat. Like, Kaie pilots a gun cannon in the show, and he gets like 19 kills, which puts him like in third place of all the good guys, I think.
Just imagine if like a ripoff of us, like the movie moguls, killed us.
The game grabbers.
No, the game grabbers are going to be the ones that kill us.
Yeah. Those guys go to the gym.
Yeah. They have what we call power to the players.
Can we really call them a ripoff of us? They're clearly better than us.
Also, Char just like completely destroys the ship that the gun cannons came in.
Yeah, he like floats up on them, shoots the front of it, goes around, shoots the back of it.
Everyone on the bridge torn apart by the bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much getting that little sneak peek we got at the beginning of the OVA series where he's just going to town. We're almost there.
It's not even a sneak peek. I mean, that was a lot of mobile suit action.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, it wasn't him all out just basically winning a war.
It was. He killed like 5 battleships.
So
I think the scope of that original clip was a little bigger than this one, though.
No, yeah, because you see him flying throughout like space. In this one, he is
like episode 3.
Yeah, this one he is just like he's working in close combat and like close combat situations. And the other one, he's pretty far away from everything he's destroying and still absolutely crushing them.
Yeah.
So
Then we get the scene with the mayor. His name is Smokey Wilson, by the way.
Oh, wow. Rest in peace to a cool-ass guy's name.
Yeah.
That's a good name right there. What is it with the Gundam series? Just has really
Weird.
yeah, just great names. all
It's
around.
Japanese people trying to come up with non-Japanese names.
Yeah, it should happen more often.
Yes.
So yeah, he gets killed, and I guess are we led to believe that Grinalda just like folds after that? Like they just join Zeon?
I was gonna say though, it's a lot better than we try to come up with non-American names, and they just all come out sounding really racist.
Very, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Tim Ray goes back to his corporate headquarters, and he shows the video, and he's just like, wow, these guys got owned.
Yeah. It's pretty much like
gotta
a
help
Senate
me.
hearing because half of the people are like, so what? Who cares?
Yeah, so Tim Ray's like, you gotta work on my project.
Yeah. And the other half are like,
Gundam.
what could we possibly do about this? I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, well, why don't we work on my project? And they're all like, oh, no, ew.
No, also, what's it called?
Yeah, why don't you show us a schematic of it so we can get some ideas?
Yeah.
But we don't want to anyway. But show it.
So yeah, Tim Ray reveals it, and immediately Haro wakes Amuro up, hundreds of miles away. At
Yeah.
Side
Is
7.
that foreshadowing?
Who knows?
Interesting.
This is kind of creepy. Haro's like, don't open the door.
Yeah, if my Haro unit said that to me, we're getting rid of that thing.
Yeah, it reminds me of the scene from Chainsaw Man, where the guy's having like prophetic dreams, and the devil inside him telling him not to open the door.
So, Amuro does open the door, does not listen to Haro. And,
He's not a listener.
no, Amuro, not a listener. He finds what his dad's been working on and becomes just like even more obsessed with the tech minutia.
He's fully embedded in the internet.
He
at this
acquired
point.
trained knowledge.
Yeah. So we focus on Amuro for a good bit of at the end of this here. Honestly, this is intensely relatable to me.
Yes.
This ending here with Amuro,
Well-
but we'll get to that in a sec, I guess, because we open up with Amuro's
Zeon
at school.
Parliament. Oh no!
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Zeon.
Zeon declares independence, and they go full Hitler.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, complete with Sig Zeon. Yeah. Yeah, they declare independence. They become the Principality of Zeon.
I wonder what Twitter was like during this event.
Well, they'd probably be talking about how Zeon is anti-imperialist, so we have
Yeah.
to support them.
Uh-oh.
No, but you would also have people defending the Earth Federation and like its current state, saying that nothing
they're-
needs to change.
Admiral Gop for Prime Minister.
Yeah. So yeah, we get Sleepy Boy Amuro here. He's sleeping during class. And all of these people are just making fun of him for sleeping.
Oh, well, he does get woken up, and the first thing he says is, "Welcome home, Dad."
Yes. Which intensely embarrassing.
No, the dub said something much different and much more devastating.
Oh, that's
than
your
that,
fault.
I think.
What did he say?
I'm trying to remember. It's different than that. I know it.
Well, let me go check.
He's like, "Mom, no, I'm in here."
Mom, no!
It was more like he was afraid his dad was upset with him rather than just like saying "Welcome home."
Don't hurt
Dad."
me!
Oh,
Don't hit me!
not again,
Oh,
Dad.
no!
No, Tem is too much of a coward to actually hit Amuro.
Yeah, it's strictly emotional abuse, which I think might be. Yeah, it's definitely. Is it more cowardly to be emotionally abusive than physically abusive?
I don't know if it's more cowardly so much as it's like equally it's like equally garbage, right?
Yeah.
But I guess it is the coward's way because you're not actually physically doing anything. You're just actually
Look, I looked it up right now, and the dubby says, "Welcome home, Dad."
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Oh,
she is
I
projecting.
guess I'm misremembering.
So yeah, Amuro is heading back to his house, just sort of groggily
Yeah.
driving, and
They're on scooters.
Frau goes up to him and is like, "Hey, you haven't been sleeping. What's up? Do you need like food or something? You need like a mommy milky?
Oh no!
And he's like, no, not interested. Thanks. These kids like come up and are like, hey, Amuro, if she's trying to get with you, I say let it happen, man.
Yeah. Also, they mentioned that Kai has been held back a year.
Yeah.
Which, relatable. I got held back in kindergarten for not behaving.
Is that how kindergarten works?
That's what I was told.
What were you doing? Were you like knocking stuff over?
I don't remember. I thought I was normal.
Picking
Did you bring
stuff up.
cigarettes?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, he was that cool kid in kindergarten, you know,
I
who was
got
smoking.
these from my mommy.
Yeah, he was a real Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah.
My mom does this.
So yeah, Frost says Christmas is coming up and that she plans to bake him a cake.
Yeah, and he's like, cool, whatever. And then he's like, I forgot I need to do something, and drives away. So, yeah, you have a theory here about this end here with Fran and Amuro.
Well, importantly, Zeon declares war on the Earth Federation, and we get a massive montage
of the just violence going on, yeah.
Yes.
And Amuro is like half watching that and half looking over like schematics.
He's black-pilled.
Yeah.
He's become doomer-brained.
He's 100% black-pilled at the end of this. You kidding me?
Yeah, but this is what Swanson wanted to talk about all episode.
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
Yeah, Fra leaves her parents while they're watching the news. It's like 9/11 all over again.
Yeah,
She
her
goes to
mom is like,
Amuro's.
where are you going?
There's a war! Our civilizations are in conflict!
She brings a lasagna over to Amuro's. And so to go with my theory that she's definitely seen Amuro pantsless before, she walks in and says, I hope you're decent.
Yeah, and then she gets no response. It kind of sits there for a while.
Yeah, and like waits patiently. And then she's like, Amuro, are you like coming down at any point? And so when she gets no response again, she runs upstairs and opens the door, and Amuro is just like, ah!
Exactly.
Like,
was he just so focused on what he was doing he couldn't even hear?
He was looking at the Gundam schematics.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what it was.
Okay. Well, let's be fair here. If I had the Gundam schematic, nothing would be able to tell me.
That would be the most interesting thing to happen to me.
Yeah, not even Fra Bao's lasagna.
Yeah, so we get the Sopranos-ass moment where Fra is screaming at Amuro.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just trying to look at the Gundams! What? What?
I'm sorry, I was looking forward to the lasagna. Come on.
Look, I was looking forward to his lasagna, okay? Okay, I was just looking at the war is pretty scary,
You always say that! I don't love you anymore!
Well, what? You want me to forget about the war?
My dad's going out, he made the Gundam.
I don't know what that means!
Oh, you're gonna know.
Yeah. Anyways, Amuro's like, yeah, I'm scared too. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
This ending is intensely relatable, where he's like, yeah, everything around, I can't control anything around me, and I just stare at the computer screen.
Yes, this series has been so prescient.
Yeah, I mean, and Frau is just like weeping. And he is just sort of like, real question here. Was Amuro really looking forward to that lasagna?
No.
He probably didn't realize it was a thing.
I think Haro was more excited for this lasagna.
Yeah, because we get a scene beforehand where he's at the computer screen and just like
eating a cake.
Eating a cake, not even looking at the cake or seemingly enjoying it, just eating it because he needs sustenance.
Haro's just like, how does it taste?
Yeah, he's
I
like,
love
Frau makes great cakes. She is lovely. And he's like, whatever, shut up.
Isn't it cute how Haro is so infatuated with Frau?
Yeah.
And the entire time, Amuro is like, shut the fuck up.
He's like, listen, psychologically, like intellectually, I know that Frau's pretty great, but like No, shut up.
I will remove your battery. And Haru's like, that's what he says.
I will make the light go out of you.
And Haru's like, okay.
Oh no!
Scared,
Anyways, we get this
scared.
kind of heartwarming, kind of menacing final scene where Char is like Skype calling Lala.
Yeah. Is this this is supposed to be like 1 to 2 sort of like
Yes.
counterpoint, right?
I think, yeah, it's supposed to.
This is Char's counterpoint.
Yes.
Yeah, so much like Amuro and Frau Bo, there's no like relationship.
It's
like,
not very healthy.
Well, there's no like added element to their relationship outside of friendship, right? Between Lala and Char.
Yeah.
I would hope not anyway, because Lala is very young when Char meets her.
Char kind of gets like a familial connection to her later on.
Yeah, they have a bit here. Yeah, so Char is essentially finished slaughtering a whole bunch of people and is like,
Yeah, he
Lala,
blows
how
up
are
a
you
cruiser.
doing?
He's like, how's the moon? And Lala's like, it's so lovely how the stars twinkle. And then Charles goes full Neil deGrasse Tyson and says,
Yeah.
Well, actually,
stars don't twinkle in space.
What you see here, the stars don't twinkle in space, actually.
and the moon doesn't shine.
Yeah.
It simply reflects light from the sun.
He's
Lala
better than
probably
Neil
just-
deGrasse Tyson, though, because he doesn't hit on her after saying that.
I think Lala's just seeing like millions of dead space ghosts across the cosmos or something, and that's why the stars are twinkling.
Oh, yeah, she's seeing a dead space coast to coast.
She's seeing Bajork. Her
She's-
soul is crying out for salvation.
She's seen
That will never
Zorak.
Also dead.
Also, yeah, rest in peace.
Anyways, Jared's like, oh, I'll see you after work, honey.
Yeah.
And he
Pretty
flies
much.
off to kill Morsh. And then, yeah, credits roll.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Isn't
the
that
end of this.
Yeah, that's like the perfect ending.
Isn't that what you say when you go out to do some wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back soon.
Yeah, I am really curious to see what else they have to pack into this 2 additional films.
Yeah, they pretty much already started the war, which is where Gundam pretty much picks up.
Yeah. And we see the big battle that gets mentioned in like episode 2 of
Yeah.
Gundam.
So I mean, I don't know. Again, but there are still 2 more left. But let's wrap this up here. What do you guys think of this this
Oh,
fourth
that was
movie?
a banger.
Yeah,
That was really good.
yeah, probably the best one so far.
Yes, because Char kills the most people in this one.
Yeah, and I guess by that logic, number 5 is going to be the best.
Probably. Maybe.
All right.
I don't think we get to see Char fight in 5, sorry.
Buh.
Bah!
Yeah, I guess the only character we haven't really done much with for the past couple episodes is
Amuro?
Artesia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Artesia has not done much. I was
She wasn't
worried
in this
about
one.
them. She wasn't in this one at all. I was worried
Yeah,
a bit
and-
about
and-
them adding Armoro to this, but his part more than holds up.
Well, this one makes more sense in that stupid Stinger scene.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, they didn't need the Stinger scene at all because they just explain Tem Ray's whole deal in
Yeah.
this.
Marketing run amok.
But yeah, Kia, what
But yeah,
what were your
if-
thoughts here?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was just saying that if there's any kind of story I want to see a little bit more of would be hers, because she kind of fell off. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but whatever.
Rest in peace, Sayla Bath.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
guess
just like,
the rest of her story is she just becomes a nurse.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
the
she
rest
becomes
of
a
her
doctor,
story is
but-
in Gundam, the show.
Oh.
Sure, but she was like central to the story at the beginning of this, and
Yeah.
now it's just like Char 24/7.
Well, people drift in and out of your life, Kyorain. And sometimes
one
you
day
gotta
I'll be
go.
gone.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta go commit mass genocide.
I'm sure Sayla will kill plenty of people next episode.
Yeah, probably.
That sounds good to me.
So yeah, This
I'm
is
sure she'll be present on the scene, doing a lot of action moves.
Mhm.
yeah. So all around, this looks like it was a tune in.
Yes.
Listen, if we hadn't mentioned it yet, and I don't think we had, this was
No.
brought to you by Puff Pfeiffer, who gave us a whopping 7 coffees. So he still has one more to cash in. I think he announced it already, right? We can announce it here on the pod, what he wants us to do after we're done with the Gundam The Origin.
No.
Are we actually going to do that? Because I don't know about that, folks.
He locked it in. What are we going to do about it?
I don't think he actually locked it in, but okay.
I mean, listen.
I think he made some Discord, possibly drunken musings about
us watching Char's Counterattack, a.k.a. the greatest film ever made.
Yeah, just getting right to it. Just like, yeah, we watched this now.
Now we're just going to skip all the story in between.
Yeah, just get right to the end.
I think we should just watch the first Gundam compilation movie, since, this is what that leads up to.
Well, Pfeiffer, if you're listening, and I know you are, you hold the cards in your hand, so, next episode we'll reveal what that 7th coffee from him is going to be.
Come on, Thunderbolt Gundam! Thunderbolt Gundam!
Yeah, and don't throw the card and put your aura on it and slice me open with it.
But if you want to buy us a coffee, that's easy to do. You go over to buymeacoffee.com/TV Tuners. One coffee gives you a single topic for us to discuss, whether it be TV, film, anything that you can think of. If you're interested in hearing us talk about something, invested even, you can just give us a coffee there, and we'll talk about it.
Oh, we could talk about hamburger.
Hamburger?
Yeah, I would. You know what? It's a solid hour of us just eating hamburgers and talking about them.
Oh, I think I would get very sick if I ate a hamburger for an hour.
No, well, we eat one hamburger during the recording.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm gonna have a platter. You guys can have one if you're gonna be.
You'll die.
Keo, that sounds. You're gonna get the meat sweats out of that, man.
Oh.
You what's that guy's from Popeye's name?
Popeye.
No.
Bluno.
The guy
Bruno.
The guy who ate the
Bruno,
yeah, that's Bluto.
Bruno Bucciarati.
Wait, was that Popeye with the guy who ate the burgers all day?
There's two. There's Bruno. No.
Bluto is the bully. I think the guy who ate the burgers all day is someone else whose name I don't remember.
Yes.
There's also Jughead, of course, from Archie.
Plagiarism.
Yeah.
His name is Wimpy, and that's me.
Keo is Wimpy, confirmed. And hey, if you want us to watch some Popeye, that's another thing you can go over to Buy Me a Coffee and have us do, I guess. Or just do a whole hour-long episode on Wimpy. Or yeah, we'll go to Popeyes and eat the chicken sandwich.
Oh man, I would love to have a meet up at Popeyes.
Yeah, we can talk in great detail about the implications of what was going on in the Popeyes series.
Yeah.
Popeye series.
And with all of that out of the way, we'll be back next time with more Gundams. Until then, keep piloting. Bye. It's over.
Will you survive?
Hey folks, time for the TV Tuners Gundam fact of the millennia. Did you know that Stairmaster has never eaten a hamburger?
No.